Hey, my name is Tyler Spring, and I am here to give a short interview on some academic rehab practices. I actually have a story that's pretty relevant about this topic. My very first test I ever took as a college student, freshman year, I was taking a Calc 1 test, and I took Calc 1 in high school. I was feeling really confident about the test. Went in and I went through the first part of the test pretty well, felt pretty good about it. I finished about 20 minutes early and went through and did all the questions again. And, I knew that college was a different monster, so I didn't want to make any mistakes, and I felt really good about it. Anyway, went through the questions again, did it all twice, and got the 2-minute warning from the teacher, and I was feeling pretty good. And I kind of leaned back and had this urge to, this inclination to flip the test over. I'd never looked at the back of the test. Of course, I flipped it over with 2 minutes left, and there's a whole second half of the test I hadn't even looked at. So at 2 minutes, I wrote down the answer to one little conceptual question, and then literally wrote, I didn't see this until 2 minutes before the test was over.
Like anything that was like a crisis for you?
The closest crisis that I would have to say that I've been in was getting strep throat throughout finals last year. That was not fun. So the student health, I went to student health because I felt really, really sick, and it was the first time that I could not use my voice. They ended up clearing me and said that I just had a high fever and was sick. It ended up being that I had strep throat. And so that week I had a couple finals and my English paper due, and it ended up being brutal, but having access to medications through the C-store and all of that really helped.
Have you ever found yourself in academic crisis? Like you made it midway through the semester and your grade was way lower than you wanted it to be?
Yeah, I would say this is probably the first class I really struggled in for my college career, but when I was taking Physics 211, I did not do so well on the first couple tests, and midway through the semester I was really worried about not getting a passing grade in the class. So I started going to office hours a lot, and I would just ask questions, and I would email him and talk to friends, and I would just study really hard, and I just didn't give up even though it was really tempting to, and I ended up passing the class. So
Great.
And as I turned it in, I waited after class, talked to the professor, let her know what happened, and she was like, well, I'm sorry, there's not much I can really do for you, but work hard. This is the first test, you got some time, and keep going to my office hours, and we'll see if we can work something out. So all I have to say, I got a 50% on my very first college test. I failed my very first college test, and I worked my butt off the rest of the semester, and really, sought out the professor on a weekly basis, talked to her a lot, and I ended up getting an A in the class. She ended up offering an extra credit assignment for the whole class, and
So what all you said strep throat contributed? What all do you think contributed to that? Just
it could have been stress, not getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times that when students are studying for finals and preparing for finals, they don't necessarily take advantage of their sleep, and that is something that I definitely lack on when studying for finals. And so that is probably a huge contributor to why I did get sick.
Academic
sleep is actually really important, because I am a senior in aerospace engineering, and I've been doing this for the past 4 years, and being a resident advisor, doing outside activities, playing sports, getting involved in clubs, getting involved in honor societies. But the one thing that has been the most helpful for me that I've been doing recently is actually being sure that I get enough sleep every night. So if you're not getting at least 6 hours of sleep every night, your performance is actually going to suffer a lot. And one of the things you don't realize once you start missing a lot of sleep and you just do it regularly, it might seem normal, but your brain is actually slowly deteriorating in its ability to remember things and its ability to process things well, which is especially important in an engineering major because you have to have a lot of processing power to actually get through tests and homeworks and things. So I would say make time to sleep, even if you have to say no to some things that are pretty fun, because sleep is important and your body will thank you.
When I have a lot of academic stress and a lot of work to do, I like to make lists of everything that I need to complete. And then as I complete each task, I like to cross it off, and you get satisfaction from completing a task and crossing it off, and it keeps you motivated to keep moving down the list and get everything you need to do done.
Well, I try to prioritize things that I need to do based on like when they're due or when they need to be done by. So, and I also try and look at things week by week. So starting on like Sunday, I'll look at everything that needs to be done that week and try and figure out how to do the things that are due Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before the things that are due, Thursday, Friday, and then into the next week. So I just try and tackle things as they're coming up.
Never get down on yourself too hard. It's a long semester, especially early. It's a long semester. You got time to get back in the game. Professors, most of them are here to help you out. They want to see you succeed. So pursue them, talk to them, seek them out. And a lot of times you'll find that they'll work with you. And there's good connections. I still talk to the professor on a regular basis.